Hi guys, welcome back to Fe y Flow. I'm your host Sitlali Anai, and today we are talking about Saint Joseph and broken fathers. So tomorrow is the feast day of Saint Joseph, and in honor of him, I was reflecting on all the relationships that I have with my fathers. The most important one, it's pretty obvious, is our Father in heaven, our God, Diosito mío. And the second one is our Father, Saint Joseph. My relationship with them is one, my home parish is dedicated to Saint Joseph. He is our patron saint at my parish. So I love him dearly. I grew up in this parish and seeing his statues, hearing his prayers, feeling his presence in the community around me, and the way he has really sparked such a love for everyone. It's been really inspiring and very blessed to have been brought up in this community. And two is, well, I guess third, my relationship with my biological father, the man who brought me into this world. And as I share my experiences and open up in my Bible studies with my ladies and just people around me, I come to discover the more that I share, the more of a pattern that I see in women similar to myself, in especially when it comes to our upbringing. So I am from Mexican descent. Both of my parents are from Mexico, and we immigrated to the US a few years before I was born. I have three older siblings, and from me to the next one, there is a 10-year difference. Because of those 10 years, I was not given the same father that my siblings grew up with. My father, especially with his firstborn, was learning how to be a father for the first time. And so the next two, it was three siblings pretty much back to back. So they all grew up with each other. And within those first years of learning how to be a family, how to take care of a family, and how to be a father, the first time you do something, inevitably you're going to suck at it. You learn a new skill, you get thrown into the deep end, you're in survival mode. You don't know what you're doing. Maybe you read about it, but you don't truly experience something until you get in there, until you're put in that position where you have to take action on it. So we're all learning how to live life for the first time. And especially when we carry traumas, when we're not taught how to love, we are taught based on our experiences that shaped us. And I will tell you a little bit about my father's experience. He grew up in Mexico City, and he's a very tough man. He's the second oldest in his family from 11. And so very early on, he was given a lot of responsibility. My grandmother at the time, as my father was growing up, had a lot of resentment towards my grandfather, I later found out, because of how he moved my family. Maybe there was something else behind it that I'm missing, but the point I'm trying to get across is she carried levels of resentment that she took out on my father. She would hurt him purposefully, unconsciously, just projected her anger out to him in the sense of verbal abuse and the sense of physical abuse. And this carried for years. And it wasn't towards all of her children, it was just towards very specific ones. And the majority of it went towards my father for some odd reason. So, whatever that reason was, only God knows. What I do know is my father was hurt for a long time. He never experienced a parent telling him that they loved him, that they were proud of him, that he was enough. Never saw my grandfather treat my grandmother with a lot of respect, and vice versa. My grandmother also didn't show a lot of respect towards her husband. And so, although they respected the people in their community and maybe certain children, my father was given the blueprint of this is how a family looks like. So, whenever he started his family and the habits that surrounded him, imagine being put in extreme cases of stress. And you have to think, when you are in those situations, what do you turn to? Who do you turn to? Is it a certain family member? Is it alcohol? Drugs? Is it God? Is it an influencer you really like? Is it shopping? What do you do? Who do you go to when you are put in extreme cases of stress? And maybe it's not even extreme. Maybe it's just inconveniences. Maybe it's just you having bad days. Whatever the case, we look for comfort in these things. When we fall into sin, we are looking for pleasure. We are looking for comfort. We are looking for a sense of control. And a lot of times we're running away from something. And we have to ask ourselves, what is that? What is it that we are running away? And what is it that we are becoming a slave to? Because either we are slave to God or we are slave to ourselves in this world. And I realized I had a lot of resentment towards my father growing up. And it wasn't necessarily towards things he would do to me. It was things I noticed, as in his actions he would do to himself that would affect our family. Or actions he would do and he would take out on family members, on my mother, on my siblings. And a lot of times it would make me so upset. It would crush me. It would anger me. It would just, all of the fuels of emotions would flood me. And it took a long time for me to really just sit with these thoughts and look at them and see where it was coming from and see where he was coming from. Saint Joseph is the patron saint of the church, of workers, of families, of fathers, and of a peaceful death. And there is actually zero scripture of any words he's ever said in the Bible. There is only his actions. So in his actions, we see that in the beginning, he wanted to divorce Mary after finding out she was with child. Yet the angel appeared to him and said, "This is your wife, and you must take her, and she bears the Son of God." It was something along those lines, and he accepted. He was obedient to God, and he was humble to receive a child that was not his. He agreed to be a stepfather. And so that's what he is to us. He is throughout what we know, what we see in the stories of him going to Bethlehem for the census, of him fleeing to Egypt, of him dying in the presence of Mary and Jesus and having that peaceful death. His life describes what it is to be completely obedient to what God has. Maybe he had his own thoughts or reservations or ways he wished he would have done things, but he submitted everything to him. And he was present in Jesus' life as his earthly father. And what an honor. Imagine being the man who will bring up the Son of God. There's a lot of responsibility, and you have to have a lot of graces in order to do that. So, for anyone out there who also did not have a strong father figure in their life, pray to Saint Joseph. Lean onto him because he's the secret to healing families. He is going to lead you to his son. I realized growing up, the high school that I went to was a pretty small high school. My graduating class was 87 students, and it was a very competitive school with only core classes, so a bunch of nerds. And growing up, I realized all of my friends, they're all bisexual or gay. I was the only heterosexual person in my friend group. And it really concerned me. All of my friends had their fathers not in their lives because of separation from their moms, because of them being abusive, because of them having secret other families. This had such an impact on my friends' lives. There was at least 5 of them that I knew in my friend group whose fathers was not present in their lives. They didn't have a healthy father figure. And how could it just coincidence all of them decided I'm going to like the same sex? Adam and Eve from one and the other. And original sin came from them. From there, when you see kids growing up, little 2, 3 year olds, and they're playing and they have a toy and you ask them for the toy and they're like, no, this is mine. This is mine. I don't want to share. They are not in the age of sinning yet. They're not in the age of reason, but they're kids. And we are born into a broken world with a natural tendency towards sin. We are taught how to love. But because of original sin, we have to work towards love. This is why now the percentage of divorce is so high. Love is a choice. You sticking to one person, that is a choice. We all have free will. And traumas get passed down. Habits, how we treat others, our unwillingness to forgive, it shows not just in yourself, but the people around you and your future generations. And this was the case, at least something that I saw with my father, my grandmother. And so, as hard as it is to forgive, this is something we are called to do. This is required of us if we want to heal and to accept God and everything He has for us. We must forgive 7 times and realize that we are all living life for the first time. What we go through, God gives us for a reason. So, what strengths do you feel God has developed in you after going through your trials and tribulations in life? What have you learned about yourself through this? What are the beliefs that you had to unlearn? Maybe you are working towards unlearning. Maybe you don't know the answers to them yet. And maybe you feel your family is more broken than all the other families. Well, let me tell you something. We are all born into broken families. The only non-broken family was Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. So once we accept that we are broken, we have to seek how we can heal. And the only way we can is through God. And who can bring us closer to God? Which is why there's the saints. And that's where St. Joseph comes in. That's where Mama Mary comes in. So, on this special feast day coming up, lean towards St. Joseph. Ask for prayers. Ask for his intercession in the healing of you and your family. Ask that he may teach you obedience and forgiveness. And that if you have your own family, he allows you to carry this on to your children or your future children, even those in your community. Because he's also the patron saint of workers. He was a carpenter. So if you're struggling with anything at work, your coworkers, your boss, your quality of work, pray to him and celebrate him. Do something nice for him. So I will leave you with this. Wherever your father is at the moment, send him a thank you. Thank you for bringing you into this world. Because you are a gift. Whether he saw it or not, our Father in heaven sees you as a gift. And he has a lot of love towards you. If your father is still living and you're still able to communicate with him, send him a hi, send him a hug. Just pray for your dad wherever he is. And pray to St. Joseph that he may heal everything you carry. And thank you for listening to this episode. If you like it, please share it with someone you know. Please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm so excited for this, guys. You don't even know. I couldn't hold in my laughter, my smile. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.